Hi there, members. It's Mervs here from Dubs. Back in the day, we had lots of spare time on our hands. One TV, no remote, bunny aerial, no decoder, black and white TV, and just 2 hours of TV. Chopper One, Bonanza, 240 Robert, Chips, Iron Fist, Knight Rider, Little House on the Prairie, A-Team, Rich Man, Poor Man. And then the great Dallas, Who Shot JR? We huddled around the TV as a family, friends, and neighbors, waited with bated breath for one whole week for the next episode. No binge watching, binge eating, and binge sleeping. It was the talk of the town next day at school, work, and places of worship. So let's ride down Joe Slovo Street, ex Field Street.
Turning left from the Esplanade onto what was once called Field Street, now Joe Slovo Street, just like the many main streets of Durban, Field Street had its own vibe and energy. You know, I used to use the street so often when we used to come down to the Esplanade. And this street had this Wall Street kind of look because of the many financial institutions in the area, the banks, the corporate offices, the insurance companies, your Liberty Life, Sanlam, Santam, those kind of financial companies or institutions. And even the people who worked in the area, they dressed the part. The men wore suits and expensive shoes. They carried attachés. The women in pencil skirts, scarves, and they had this very corporate kind of look. This area was like that. Even the architecture, the buildings looked very kind of Wall Streety, if I may use that term. And, we come to this set of traffic lights and the street going across it's Smith Street. And as we cross over, we go to another part of Field Street, which was more retail, with all its retail stores, especially clothing stores, shoe stores, and there was a small building society also. There was a little arcade that would take you into Salisbury Arcade. On the left, there was an expensive furniture store, and on the right, on the corner of West Street and Field Street, used to be Cuthbert's shoe store. I used to work there during school holidays. On the left, there used to be a very expensive store, and even if you were window shopping, it was expensive to look in. That's how it used to be. So we come to the intersection of West Street and Field Street. On the left is ABC shoe stores. There used to be a guy selling newspaper and magazine outside. On the right, Allied Building Society. On the left, if my memory serves me correct, there used to be a very expensive shop boutique that used to sell leather and fur. I think it was only for millionaires. And there used to be the Modison's photography shop there. On the right, glass building. On the left, independent newspapers. Well, it was called Natal Newspapers in the day. That's where I started my first serious job. Natal Newspapers had the look of the Daily Planet, of the New York Times. When you walked in the reception area, you took the lift up. Retail advertising, classified advertising, national advertising, marketing, promotions, editorial, syndication, you name it, subscriptions, the machine room, dispatch. Back in the day, if you wanted to know what was happening in the world, you had to read newspapers. And newspapers used to be big and thick, 60 pages. And, people used to, rush to get their hands on the latest newspaper. And on the left was a telecom building. We just passed Pine Street, Pine Arcade on the right we passed. We're crossing over Commercial Road here, Commercial City on the right. On the left, that purple building used to be an expensive men's boutique. Lots of shops here on the right and left, clothing stores. And then there's Newfield Arcade that had curio shops. I spoke about Newfield Arcade and Newfield Parking the other day when I did Queen Street. So we come into the intersection of Queen Street now. And, I did tell you this part of town is my part of town. I knew it like the back of my hand. I used to walk here, play around here, run around here. On the left, there used to be some hardware stores, paint stores. On the right, some of those stores, there used to be a butcher on the right here, I think. And as we approach, we're coming to the Victoria Street intersection, my turf, I call that, and brings back lots of memories for me. And as we cross over here, there was a tea room there on the corner there. There used to be like a trophy shop on the left there, on the right. Shell garage, old shell garage. This yellow building here is Butterworth Hotel, and I used to come there for my matinee jolts, Fun City and stuff. And on a Friday night, there used to be a bar here, a couple of pairs on a Friday night here, speeches on a Friday night. It used to happen like that in those days, and was entertainment for us. So as we come to this traffic lights here, once Field Street ends here and it turns into Soldiers Way. I don't know why, but it did. On the left is Prince Edward Street. On the right used to be, it's a taxi rank now. On the left here, there used to be some mechanical workshops here. It had a drop, this road, so you could go in and go into Albert Street here. There used to be some flats and some homes here. I knew, we used to walk here when we wanted to go to the other part of town, like Beater Street and Lawn Street and Alice Street. And I remember after school, I'll, walk here when I used to go for training, soccer training, to the race course. And on a Tuesdays and Thursdays. That orange building used to be white and it had a blue roof. And I had friends living there. And if you turn left, it will take you into Leopold Street. And as we cross over Leopold Street here, this bridge here, it's, just like how when I took you through Grey Street, the same kind of bridge. It's the opposite side. On the opposite side, under that is the train lines. So we're crossing over Alice Street now here. And you can see that tall building is Teachers Center. And there used to be on the left upstairs theatre. There used to be Blue Swan Cafe also on the left. And there was Fountain Lane there. And we used to come to Teachers Center. There used to be a club called Mermaid. And I danced there a couple of times with my breakdance group. It was more for a mature crowd. And the owner of that club was very nice and very friendly towards us. He gave us an opportunity to dance there. There used to be a boutique there. A friend of mine used to own that boutique. And there was the famous Johnny's Radio and TV Repairs used to be here. And as we come to this stop street traffic lights, the road that's running across, that's Beatrice Street. And if you turn left, you'll get the Beatrice Street Clinic. That building on the left there, Valji's building, it's now grey. It used to be a lovely green, light green or mint, and used to brighten up the area. For some reason now it's shared grey, should I call it. And if you wanted to take your bus or catch a bus to Reservoir Hills, Parlock, Newlands, Greenwood Park, you would catch your bus there and Beatrice Street where the taxi is. Buses used to stop there. Every 5 minutes or every minute there was a bus stopping there, and there used to be a whole lot of buses. So as we cross over the left here, there were lots of tea rooms here and shops, and Maud Lane and Victor Lane on the left, Lawn Street. The road that will take you right will take you to Amgeni Road. In the distance there on the right, past the palm trees, is and this will make you very sad, because that's the Natal Table Tennis building. And if you look at it now, I think there's a tree growing in that building. It's really sad to see what's happened to that building. On the left here is Carlisle Street, and this iconic building on the left with the blue and brown there, that's the Tamil Vedic Society building. I used to come here as a little kid for weddings and functions, and the Tamil Eisteddfod used to be held here annually. Lots of history with that. And on the left here is Louis Lane. And as we finish this, or we come to the end of the Field Street drive-through, I want to thank all of you all for all the comments. And please, please contribute and give me your kind of stories. And until the next time, thank you and ciao.